Hey Gemini, welcome to the Jezebel Way Tarot. Today I'm going to be doing your love and separation read for the month of November. I wanted to say thank you for all of your patience, Gemini, and thank you for your interaction with the channel when videos were posted. Thank you so very much. I want to explain that we're going into this Taurus blood moon lunar eclipse. So I always find that lunar eclipses pull harder on energy than solar eclipses do. But this is about, long-awaited love offers coming in. This is about endings going out. So embrace the change. Embrace the evolution of what is coming. Don't try to hold on to what's leaving. Okay, so let's see what we got for Gemini for love in November. Okay, show me Gemini. Whoops. Okay, well, something popped out right away. Unconditional love and... Okay, so we've got unconditional love and pretending. Genuine. So someone is looking for the authentic aspects of the relationship. What is real and what is not? And that's kind of what we're going through with these energies. What's real is going to stay, is going to evolve, is going to come in. What's not real is on its way out, so let that shit go. There's been a little bit of a roller coaster here for somebody because they're trying to discern whether or not this is a true, real thing or not. Is this real? So let's see why that is. Let's just take us a look and see why that is. I'm trying to decide what deck to use. I mean, you'd think it'd be easy. There's 16 million decks here. So let's take a look. Let's take a look. Okay. Celebrations about the relationship, yes, but there's some vibe here that somebody's getting because of something that someone said, okay, that's making either you, Gemini, or your partner doubt the authenticity of this relationship, the feeling that you're getting. Is it real? Is what I'm feeling real? And I think it had to do with an offer that may have come a little too soon. An offer from either you, Gemini, or your partner, and your partner's reaction, perhaps, Gemini, was kind of like not what you expected. And so now either you or your partner are doubting, was this real? Was I off? Did I misinterpret the signs and signals? Am I misinterpreting the feelings that I'm getting from this person? Rest assured, I think this situation is going to play itself out here. In coming together. Your partner may have reservations, or maybe you have reservations about coming together, perhaps in a commitment so quickly, or the Three of Coins is talking about a home, right, an apartment. So I think that you guys are going to go for it, but I think there's something here that is causing doubts in you or your partner. So let's see what's going on. Show me Gemini's lover. Okay. Okay, so there's a little bit of an imbalance. This came out in the reverse, but we're going to put it in the upright because that's the energy we want to project. A little bit of imbalance going on here. Somebody feels a little bit manipulated, or rather, I think they're triggered, okay, by the offer. Somebody's triggered by the offer that was given because maybe they had an experience that easy come, easy go, right? And they may feel like they're being manipulated back in the same situation when they're not, but they feel as though something's too good to be true. So we're going to put this in the upright again. This is about bringing in healing, okay? So see how the energies change when you flip it around, right? This person, this partner of yours needs to start manifesting in healing for themselves. They need to heal. They need to gain their balance a little bit. So give this person a little bit of time, or this may be you, okay? Take the time you need, or give this person some time to process the offer that's been given to them. Just give them a little time to process it. Don't jump the gun about trying to label the reaction. Don't jump the gun about trying to label, well, this wasn't real because, I mean, they acted awful funny when I brought that up, you know. They did act funny, but they have their own reasons for that, and I think it's a previous trigger that they're dealing with, and they need to manifest some healing. You have a yes card. You have the Aquarius star card, yes card. Give them some time to process. Okay, so let's see what's going on with you, Gemini. Or maybe that's your reaction to them. So take your time to process. Show me, Gemini. A new chapter in your life means letting go of the past. A new chapter of your life means letting go of things sometimes for people who hold on, right? And really what they're doing is holding on to a reality that doesn't exist, right? They're holding on to an idea that they've had in their mind about how something's supposed to play out. And it didn't play out that way. But sometimes we have a tendency to keep holding on and keep hoping and wishing and feeding that which does not exist. So what are you feeding, right? What are you feeding? Are you feeding your present reality, or do you keep feeding an idea in the past that simply doesn't exist? So ask yourself that before you reject an offer, or before, you know, a partner rejects an offer. What are we feeding here? Are we feeding present energy, or are we feeding past hurts and pains and fears? So I think this offer came to you, Gemini, and I think that you are seeking, and you're thinking and you're processing here with this 7 of coins. You're thinking maybe that it's not for you, but I want to see why. So let's ask why. Show me the 7 of coins and the 5 of swords. I also feel a sense of not wanting to be controlled and feeling like that if you enter into this agreement, that there's some form of chameleon you're going to have to do, or some form of submission that you feel like you have to do, some form of putting a piece of yourself on a shelf in order to be there with them. So think about, why are those feelings coming up, and what's the fear? And is the fear legitimate? Meaning, is the fear something that I can control in present day, right? Because I've learned my lessons from the past? Or am I feeding an old fear, okay, from previous relationship trauma? So just ask yourself that. I think that you were in the mindset that you didn't want to do this with someone ever again. I think that this is you saying, you know what, I'm not going to do it again. I'm not interested in dating. I'm not interested in being with someone. I'm not interested in living with someone. I'm not interested in full-time relationship. And, you know, if you're working on yourself and that's where you're at in the present time, because you're enjoying your space and your singleness in the present, then great, go with it. But if you're doing it as a means of creating a wall between you and intimate connection because of past trauma, then that's a different story that you'll need to unpack. A cycle is closing in your life, kicking, screaming, being dragged, whatever, it's closing. So you have to allow the evolution of things to come into your world. You have to be open. You have to think about where you're at in the present moment. Are you hiding, or are you living in the present moment consciously and purposefully because you're enjoying the time that you're having now? Okay, so let's see what the blocks for your partner are. They feel like their offer was like a lead balloon when it crashed, right? And they feel like you've been honest with them, but they really don't understand why it's crashed, because they feel as though, you know, they were reading the energy correctly, right? So now they feel like you guys are in a rut. You're in a place where it's uncomfortable. It may be awkward. It may be something that they don't know that they can recover from because they're not sure if it's rejection or if it's a reaction. So let's kind of see what this High Priestess is trying to tell us. They feel like they've been open and honest and upfront with you, but maybe there was something that they didn't consider. So let's see what that is. Show me the High Priestess. Yeah, something that they missed. Sorry, did I miss something? Did I misinterpret where we were? Did I misinterpret the energy between us? Have I misinterpreted how you feel about me? And they want to offer something else, okay? They want to know, though, is your love true? Is the love true? So that they're doubting, right? They're doubting because the offer just went like crashed and burned. Is your love for me true? Maybe we can reroute this, maybe we can take it back a few notches. We don't have to move in. We don't have to, be in this large commitment. We can keep it kind of, loose or whatever, right? We don't have to pin it down right now. I'm okay. I'm flexible with that. That's what they're saying. And they're saying that as a means of fear of losing the connection with you. So just bear that in mind that they're trying to negotiate with you when they do that. So at this point, when they're trying to negotiate about, okay, look, I can take it a few steps back. We don't have to, we don't have to do that. It's okay. They are acting in fear of losing relationship and connection with you. So just bear in mind at this point, if you're not into this shit, it's time to call it. Okay. If you're not into it, you're saying, look, man, you're not the one for me. Then you need to call it. Don't let this person continue to negotiate and chip away, okay, at themselves. And if this is Gemini reverse, then reverse it. But at this point, you got to call it. If you're not into it, call it. But I think you're not into it because this is an issue of vulnerability that you're having to work on. No one likes being vulnerable, right? Some people find it easier than others to be vulnerable to a partner, to an intimate connection. Because being vulnerable means, opening yourself up, and it means allowing someone to come in and get to know you. And, sometimes you may be fearful of criticism or judgment about who you truly are. So it takes a lot of courage to be vulnerable to another person. I think maybe that could be sort of what some of you out there may be dealing with. But let's see what your blocks are. Okay, lots of issues of being vulnerable happening, though, by the way. I've seen a pattern with that. Moving forward in relationship is your block. That's your fear. Communicating that you're fearful of moving forward in a commitment is your fear. Let's see what's going on there. Why is Gemini afraid to move forward here? And if this is reversed, just use the information that comes out. What is the fear of moving forward toward commitment? I think your fear is communicating that to this person, though. What is your fear of moving forward? What is Gemini's fear, in moving forward, universe? Gemini here is in like hardcore mode, like the Queen of Swords mode. Like you're looking for the holes. You're looking for the holes, right? Because you're fearful of commitment. Somebody here is fearful of commitment. And they're looking for the holes in this situation. Well, he wears brown socks instead of black socks, and I can't be a part of that. Or, what he does with his toothbrush in the morning? Never. Or, whatever it is. Maybe you're borrowing scenarios, or whatever. If it's authentic and it's true and you're like, look, man, You know, I can't be a part of that. That's not the way I roll. That isn't in my core being. That's not in alignment with my core system of values. Then great. Okay, then you need to say something. They need to say something. Let's see the Queen of Swords. The communication between the two of you may be sort of funny. We are in the Mars retrograde, and I don't even know if it's still in Gemini or what, I don't know. But it does talk about communication problems during this time, right? And you may feel pressured by your partner. That could be part of the problem we're looking at here, is that you may feel in communication that you're being a little bit pressed by this person to make a decision. And you're just not ready to make a decision. You're saying here, I've not yet made up my mind. I'm still discerning whether or not that's right for me, or if it's in alignment with me, or if it helps me reach my goals. Does it bring me peace, or does it bring me chaos, right? But the chaos you're feeling may be previous triggers, so look at that real hard. You're still saying, I haven't decided yet. I'm trying to make a decision about this. And you may feel pressured by your person. They may be in communication. They're rushing in to try to figure out what you've decided. And you're like, wait a minute, I'm still thinking. And so, you know, that may be something you guys need to talk about. You know, if you feel right now, like before this has even begun, really, that this person is pressuring you into making a decision because it's something that they want, then we need to figure out, why do they want this so bad? What's the motive? And that's kind of where you're at, right? Like, why do you want this so bad? I don't understand why you keep pressing me, you know? So sometimes, and I'm not saying that's the case with this person here at all, but you know that when they say no one falls in love faster than a narcissist who needs a place to live, okay? That's so true, okay? So kind of analyze, is this your trigger? Or what's going on with this person pressing you so much? But I want to see why they're pressing you so much. Show me the Knight of Swords. There's some issue with money here, or lack in their life, loneliness, or maybe it's a literal financial issue that they may not be communicating to you about. It looks like they're working hard. They may have gone through some financial difficulties as a result of a previous relationship. They're not very happy about it. They're working diligently to overcome those financial difficulties, and they're working very hard to overcome, if it's not financial, they're working very hard to overcome lack in their life. But be careful of the person who can't be by themselves. Be careful of the person who has a hole that needs to perpetually be filled. These people oftentimes have a tendency to jump from relationship to relationship to relationship because they feel like this other party is going to save them. When we all know that, you know, you really can only save yourself, and you're the only one who can put the work in to make your life better or to fix whatever it is, right? So be careful of someone who latches on very quickly too, because they either have narcissistic tendencies or there's issue with codependency, right? So it looks like you're in analyzation mode about what's the deal. Why are you pressing me? You know, I don't know that I'm ready for this yet. Well, let's see what's going on in between the two of you. And if that's the case, be honest. I mean, you know, be honest. I'm not ready. I'm not ready for this right now. This is a little too fast for me. Can we slow it down? And if they're butthurt by it and they start giving you ultimatums about, you know, why they can't accommodate that request, then you kind of have your answer right there, right? I mean, it's not really about you. It's more about them. So Pay attention to what the things are saying, how your body's feeling, what messages you're getting when you're having this conversation with this person. Let's see what's between the two of you. Every time. Okay, commitment's been offered, right? Show me what's between Gemini and Libra. This person may also have a tendency to not feel like they're on top unless they're in a relationship, you know? So, which is a false sense of security. Show me what's going on with Gemini and their lover. Exactly that. They've sort of made a judgment call here that that there has been a loss that's been had here, right, for this other party. This is a matter of, in a way, do they genuinely feel about you the way they do? Yes. But I feel like if there were an ulterior motive here, the ulterior motive is to be back on top. They want to be back on top. So it's almost as if with this Knight of Swords card that they're rushing to a finish line. So I think that you should inquire a little bit more about previous relationships with this person. I feel as though it might benefit you to inquire about the most recent relationship that this person has had. And are they running to a finish line because they can't be alone, because they want to be back on top again, because they feel like they're not a full person by themselves? Or are they rushing to the finish line because they want to beat the previous partner to the punch, right? Like, well, you didn't want me, but let me show you who does, kind of thing, and throw it in somebody's face. Are you being used to gratify someone's confidence level? Or is it because they genuinely want to start building a life with you? So there's a lot to consider, right? And there's a lot to consider there. You may need to take a break and slow this train down before it gets hooked up in dysfunction. Okay, before it's like, oh, fuck. You know, I should have, I didn't see that shit coming. I should have known when he took his underwear off that way that, you know, there was going to be some problems. Or, you know, whatever the red flag is, right? If you're experiencing red flags with this person, or you're having intuitive hits, okay, about something that, that's curious, then that's what you need to explore, right? Don't dismiss the red flags because this person is so exuberant. They're so passionate about this happening. They're so excited, right, about moving to this next stage. Is moving to the next stage appropriate or not for the time frame that you've been together? I mean, you can't talk to somebody for 2 months, and I mean, it happens, but I'm just saying, think about it logically. You can't really talk to somebody for a couple of months, and maybe if this is a distance, you've been talking on the phone with them, and all of a sudden they want you to move where they're at. You know, I mean, is that logical? You know, there's a lot of difference in talking to someone, going on dates with someone, and then there is, let's move in and live together. Because you don't know somebody until you live with them, okay? You really don't. So I think that, you know, if you feel like it's inappropriate at the moment and it's not logical, then it isn't. So just consider, does it fit? I mean, does it fit? Right now, does it fit? Is it logical? Do you feel at peace with it, right? So let's see how your partner's feeling about you. You provide this person with something moving forward, that a lot of courage. You provide them with a lot of courage, right? So, for example, I think in this scenario, they may have been emasculated, or however you pronounce that word, or they may have been, their confidence level may be plummeted, right, because of previous relationship with another person. And they may be trying to use you as a confidence boost, right? Or you give them the courage that they haven't had in a while, and they're kind of blurring the lines between, natural progression of relationship and love and with gratitude. So they may have a funny attachment style, right? I think that you've brought a spiritual aspect to their life that they may not have previously had. You certainly give them hope. You have given them hope. And so if that's what it is and that's where it ends, then you've done your job, Gemini, right? And thank you for the lesson. Thank you for the seasons. You were in my life for a reason. Now, let's move on, right? I think you've also given them hope that they can come back in a balance in their life. They can be stable again. They can build a life with someone else. They can build a life, period. But I think, Gemini, you feel like you may want to put the brakes on this with this person a little bit. I feel like you may want to say, hey, you know what? I'm with you. We're together. We don't have to rush anything. The world's not ending tomorrow, as far as we know. And there's no reason we have to rush into anything. Let's take it a little bit slow. I'm not comfortable with rushing into it. And for whatever your reasons are. Let's slow it down a little bit. When you do that, watch their reaction, watch their face, watch their body language. Listen to the tone of their voice. Watch what their eyes are doing. Are they engaged with you, or are they like, doing one of these when it's something they don't want to hear? Okay. Watch what their body does when you tell this to them. Watch what your body does when you ask them, hey, you know what? I just am not ready for that yet. I mean, we're here together and everything, but I'm not, I don't want to jump into something. See what happens, okay? Now, I think they're going to go into negotiation mode, okay, out of fear of losing the feeling that you're giving them, right? But you need to watch what it is that they say next. What do they negotiate next? There may be a little bit of conflict with this information. They feel like you're holding back, or they may say, oh, what are you afraid of? And again, if you feel like you're being pressed, okay, then that's not out of love. That's out of, okay, well, I understand. You're right. I mean, it's a little bit too soon. Maybe I'm overzealous, But watch what they negotiate with, okay? Let's see what they're thinking. Of course, I think they're thinking about past relationships, childhood relationships over the course of their life, what they've held on to, what they're walking away from. They're definitely still holding on to something. Let's see what that is. It's a secret, though, what they're holding on to, maybe. They don't advertise it. They're holding on to a previous partner who isn't currently single. And it may be turning into a little bit of a competition. You hurt me, fuck you. I'm going to beat you to the altar before you do with your dude or your woman. I've got to win. My ego has to win, right? So be careful of that kind of person, because when it's not about you at all. It's not about the relationship. It's about somebody trying to fulfill their own pride and ego and not to look like a chump, basically, right? So be careful of that. I think they may be holding on to previous lover, may not be holding on to them in a love way. They're definitely holding on to them in a vengeance competition kind of way, right? Well, you don't want me? Let me show you who does. And they may show this person over and over and over who wants them, and when you have to go to those kind of links in order to elicit a response for someone, that means they're not fucking paying attention, okay? And they don't give a shit. So I think that you need to consider, how hard is this person going and why? Let's see what their intention is. And that's an immature, low vibe behavior from somebody who's not emotionally mature or evolved or anything. I think if you ever confront them about this, they'll be defensive. It looks like to me they're going to defend this issue with you, and they may continue to press you moving forward to move forward with them, right? They're going to hold on to situation, but problem is, they think this is their wish fulfillment, and they want you to think it's their wish fulfillment because they're really just trying to piss somebody off. And so don't be a pawn in someone else's bullshit mind game, right? You either love me or you want to be with me or you don't. But if I start seeing signs and symbols that, you're really just trying to compete with somebody else over here, it's not even about me. And how dare you use me that way, right? So I think you need to be very careful. Do go into your deep processing of this offer, okay? This person may not be evolved enough to be aware, that's kind of what they're doing, but most people aren't that dumb, right? This person hasn't evolved. They haven't changed, and they haven't truly healed either. So, wow. Let's see what they're afraid to tell you. A relationship ended, and they've not really, or maybe they have been, but don't get wrapped up in being somebody else's flying monkey either. I don't mean to be rude, but I'm just going to say it. Bitches love to be men's flying monkeys, okay? Don't be that person. Don't be the bitch who's stalking his ex's social media, who is, out there trying to fight for their man, who is so worried about fucking with somebody else's life. If you have to go to those links, okay, in a relationship to be relevant, then baby, you are not relevant. Okay, you are not relevant. If you're over there stalking the ex's social media, you've already lost the game, okay? It's time to pack it up and get on with it. Don't be somebody's flying monkey because they told you a version of events that's only the world according to them. I see this and I hear this all the time. And all I'm saying is, if your focus and his focus is on the ex, then his focus ain't on you, sweetheart. Time to go. He's not been honest with you. This person hasn't been honest with you necessarily about the reason for leaving the relationship. I think when confronted, they may try to block that out and again talk about the burdens according to them. Oh, well, she didn't love me. She wouldn't, there was just no connection anymore. I was sleeping on the couch. Have we not heard that bullshit before? Well, you're sleeping on the couch, motherfucker, because you've been fucking around on her for 6 months. You're sleeping on the couch because you're not manning up or womaning up enough to repair your intimate bond. You may not be helping out around the house. You may not be bringing any money in. You may not be doing the day-to-day things that need to be done in order to protect your intimate bond with somebody, because that person feels like they're doing everything. So their version of events, for example, could be really different than what actually went down. She may be over there raising his 3 kids that are like ages 3 to 7 and be at the house all day long while he's at work, and then he's stopping after work at the other woman's house, or had been doing that previously. So I kind of feel like there's a lot going on here that hasn't been addressed. So really, you really need to question this person about their previous relationships. And it doesn't have to be in an attacking way, just out of curiosity, because you want to see what is their breakup style or what is, what's their deal. So don't allow them to trap you, okay, in this idea that there are burdens. They're carrying all these burdens. She's such a meanie. Honey, we're all crazy and we're all mean when we say it's over. Just remember that. All right, so they're juggling two people, two ideas, two love interests in their mind. So just pay attention to that. Anyway, let's go to a final outcome because, damn, I've talked the shit out of this stuff. Show me, Gemini, their potential final outcome. Show me, Gemini, their potential final outcome. I think that you're not going to succumb to any illusions in this relationship. I think that you'll accept the romance given, but I think that as far as new opportunity goes, I think that you're going to kind of stand still. I think that you're going to defend where you are in your life right now. I think that you're going to make that the priority. I don't think that you're not going to entertain this lover, and if none of those scenarios are yours, just leave them where they're at, right? If none of that stuff's happened, you're not getting any heebie-jeebies about it, and this is just you deciding if this is what you want, then just make it simple and leave it at that. But for those of you who are experiencing that, I think that you're going to stand still, and I think that you're going to stand still in alignment with where you are in present moment in your life. I think that you're going to see this person, great, go out on dates, but I don't think that you're going to go any further than that at this present time. And you're not trying to break anybody's heart, but you ain't trying to get trapped up in no goddamn secret love triangle either, okay? And, with somebody else's significant other. So let's get some advice cards on it. We're just going to go straight to advice cards because we're like 37 minutes in. Sorry, Gemini. Your happiness should be of the utmost importance. Not all that glitters is gold, okay? They may look good, smell good. They may even feel good, okay? They may say all the right things. But if you're getting a red flag and you're getting a ping intuitively, I've seen a lot of good-looking men that I thought were, pretty special until they opened their mouth up. And then I was kind of like, oh, no, So not all that glitters is gold. And a cycle is ending in your life regardless, right? So see where that takes you. The evolution of that closing out, see where it takes you. This man needs to show you the money. Or woman needs to show you the money, right? This is not for you to be pressed on. This is the offer they extended to you. You don't have to accept it. They need to show you what they got. Okay, well, show me how this will be valuable for me. Show me how, you can make me feel safe to do that, right? I need to see something from you, basically. Maintain your cool and your calm and maintain your alignment. No reason to jump on anything right now. Is it appropriate that we're going this quickly into the next phase of our relationship? Have we built enough of a foundation here that I feel comfortable moving forward to the next phase? What have we been building and what are we building on? Is it solid? Is it going to bring abundance into my life? Is it going to bring peace or is it going to bring chaos? So I think at the end of the day, that's the question you ask yourself, Gemini. That's what I have for you guys, and I'll see you second half.